Welcome children. Today we are discussing integrals of some particular functions. So you can see here I have written 6 functions over here. You will find some similarity in them and bit of difference also. This is integral of 1 over x square minus a square. If your integral is of this type, its result will come out to be 1 over twice of a log of x minus a over x plus a. In the same manner, in case it is dx over a square minus x square, then you can see how the integral will be evaluated. In the same manner for integral of x square plus a square. Now if you look at these three, they seem to be the same type of expressions, but each of the expression in the denominator, if you see, that is under the square root. Okay, so let us derive any two out of them. One out of these let us derive and see how the result is obtained. In the same manner, one out of these I will be deriving for you to see how these results are obtained. And we will be using all these as results or formulae, we can say, as and when if we find these kind of integrals. Let us derive some of these. You can see this one. This is the first one. It is in the form dx over x square minus a square. Integral of dx over x square minus a square. Till now we are familiar with the method of substitution. So we are going to use that only. So using one of the trigonometric identities which you have learnt in your previous grades, let us try to simplify it. Suppose we put x is equal to a sec theta. Then dx will become a and the derivative of sec theta will be sec theta tan theta and that of theta will be d theta. So let us make this substitution on the left hand side and see what our integral is. So it will be 1 over, because we are replacing x by a sec theta, so it becomes a square sec square theta, then minus a square. What about dx? Dx is a sec theta tan theta d theta. Later on, when you will come across another method of integration, that is integration by partial fraction, you will learn an alternative method of deriving it. In fact, more easier than this and simpler than this. For time being, let us evaluate this now. It is a sec theta tan theta d theta. In the denominator, you will find a square is common and we are left with sec square theta minus 1, which in the next step we will reduce it to tan square theta, because we know sec square theta minus 1 is tan square theta. So the denominator is now a square tan square theta and d theta here. Cancel out the common factors from the numerator and denominator. You can see one of the a gets eliminated. We have 1 over a. One of the tan theta also gets cancelled out. So this is sec theta over tan theta. If we simplify both of them, like sec theta can be written as 1 over cos theta, tan theta can be written as sin theta over cos theta. So converting them in terms of cos and sin, sec theta becomes 1 over cos theta and tan theta reduces to sin theta over cos theta. So you will see sin theta gets cancelled out and the integral is 1 over sin theta only, which can be written as cosec theta. So what are we left with? 1 over a integral of cosec theta. Let us write integral of cosec theta. Integral of cosec theta is log cosec theta minus cot theta plus constant of integration. So you can see integration is over here, but we need to convert it to the original variable, that was x. So we'll try to convert theta in terms of x. You can see here, if I get these trigonometric expressions in terms of sec theta, I will be able to replace it by x over a. So let us see if these can be converted into them or not. You can see here cosec theta can be written as 1 over sin theta and cos theta can be written as cos theta over sin theta. So this is how we can go for converting them. You can think of some alternative method also if that can be done. See here, cosec theta is 1 over sine theta, where sine theta we will replace it into cos theta later on, then cot theta is cos theta over sine theta plus constant of integration. So this is 1 over a times log 1 minus cos theta in the numerator and sine theta here. Sine theta can be written as square root of 1 minus cos square theta. So converting the denominator into square root of 1 minus cos square theta plus constant, and keeping the numerator as 1 minus cos theta only. Further making some calculations here, you can see the denominator, the term under the square root is in the form a square minus b square. So we can break it into two parts as 1 minus cos theta under the square root into 1 plus cos theta under the square root. In the same way, numerator can be written as square root of 1 minus cos theta into square root of 1 minus cos theta. And you can see one of the square root of 1 minus cos theta can be cancelled out. Now if you look at the numerator and denominator, they have got a common power, that is 1 by 2. So we can write it as 1 minus cos theta over 1 plus cos theta with an exponent 1 by 2 here. Now using the properties of log, which says log m with an exponent n can be written as n log m, this will reduce to 1 over 2a log, and now we can convert cos into sec. Cos theta will be 1 over sec theta. So if we convert it to that and take LCM, this will reduce to sec theta minus 1, and this will become sec theta plus 1 and the constant of integration. Now you look at your substitution part. From here you will find sec theta can be written as x over a. So replace sec theta by x over a. So we have now log x over a minus 1 divided by x over a plus 1 within the modulus plus constant of integration. Now take LCM here in the numerator as well as in the denominator, and see finally the integral reduces to 1 over, after solving the integral, the solution reduces to 1 over 2a log. This becomes x minus a over, the denominator becomes x plus a. So 1 over twice of a log modulus of x minus a over x plus a as the required right hand side you can see. Children, the 6 results which are mentioned, you can see in 3 of them the denominators were independent of the square roots. They were not under the square roots. But in the remaining 3, the same expression, either the sum of two perfect square or the difference of two perfect squares, was under the square root. So all 6 of them can be done using one of the suitable identities, trigonometric identities, which you have already learnt in class 10th. You can see even here the same identity is going to help us, which we have used in the previous derivation. If I put x is equal to a sec theta, then dx reduces to a sec theta tan theta d theta. Substitute this in the given integral. Our integral will reduce to dx can be replaced by a sec theta tan theta d theta, and in the denominator we get square root of a square sec square theta minus a square. So you can see the denominator, from the denominator there is scope for taking out terms common. A square can be taken common within the square root, under the square root, and if we take its square root it reduces to a. So under the square root we are left with sec square theta minus 1, which can be further converted into tan square theta using the trigonometric identity. Sec square theta minus 1 is tan square theta. So when we will replace this by tan square theta, because it is also under the square root, On taking the square root, we get simply tan theta here. So you can see we are able to eliminate a, we are able to eliminate tan theta. And finally, we are left with integral of sec theta d theta. So recall the integral of sec theta. It is log sec theta plus tan theta. This is the integral of sec theta plus constant of integration. But then again we need to convert it in terms of x. Already one of the term is sec theta. We will be able to replace it by x over a. So we'll try to make some changes in tan theta. We can write it as log sec theta plus square root of sec square theta minus 1. This is what we can write for tan theta. Now you can see in both the parts we have trigonometric ratio sec theta. So this sec theta can be now replaced by x over a. You can see sec theta is x over a. So I will write x over a here. In the same manner, under the square root, we get x square over a square minus 1. Now we need to simplify this. Now if the LCM be taken in the later part, you will see it will be square root of x square minus a square divided by square root of a square, which can be written as a. Now both the terms have got common denominator, which is a, so we can write it as log modulus of x square root of x square minus a square, this divided by a plus constant of integration. Now if you see, it is in the form log m over log n. So we can write it as log m minus log n plus constant of integration. If you look at the last two terms, log a is also a constant and c is also a constant. So whatever their value must be, on subtracting or adding them as given in the expression, a new constant will be obtained. Let us denote it by c1. So you can see integral of dx over square root of x square minus a square is reduced to this form. Log modulus of x plus square root of x square minus a square plus c1. Okay, either you write c or c1, they both are denoting the constant of integration. So you can see if your integrals will be any one of the types which are written in the first slide, you can see from 1 to 6. If your integral is of that type, then you can use these as the results directly without making all these substitutions. Now let us make a slight change and see how these types we can deal with. Now it says if the integral is of this type, if you see in the previous all the 6 identities, whether the denominator was without the square root or it was under the square root, the polynomial which was given to you was a quadratic polynomial, and all the expressions were either sum of two perfect squares or difference of two perfect square. So here is the difference. This polynomial is not written as either sum of two perfect squares or difference of two perfect squares. So what is needed to be done? We need to convert them into one of those types which we have done earlier. So I will try to convert it into either sum of two perfect squares or difference of two perfect square. So we'll be converting it to one of the standard forms, and then we will use that as a formula to integrate it. Okay, so recall how a quadratic polynomial is converted into sum or difference of two perfect square. This we have learnt in grade 10. So what we need to do? We can write first ax square plus bx plus c can be written as a times x square plus b over a times x plus c over a. So this part I will try to convert into two perfect squares, either their sum or their difference. Now in order to do that, you need to add a particular term here and same needs to be subtracted. So what are we going to add? This is already x square b over a times x. So I am going to add half I'm going to add square of half the coefficient of x. So what is half the coefficient of x? Half the coefficient of x here will be b over 2a. So its square is needed to be added, and because you are adding it, it is to be subtracted also. C over a minus b over 2a whole square. Now if you look at these three terms, they are resulting into a perfect square. That perfect square is x plus b over 2a whole square. Now the later two terms we are going to solve together. You can see here the denominator will become 4a square, and this is only a. So if I simplify this and then take LCM, this will reduce to 4ac minus b square over 4a square. So this is one perfect square. This can be written as another perfect square. See how this is x plus b over 2a whole square, and denominator is already a perfect square. You can see we can write it as square root of 4ac minus b square divided by 2a whole square. So once you have converted your denominator into sum of two perfect squares or difference of two perfect square, what will your integral become now? It will be 1 over a dx over x plus b over 2a whole square plus square root of 4ac minus b square over 2a whole square. So it is one of the forms which were discussed earlier, one of the 6 forms. There were 3 identities where the denominator was sum of two perfect squares or it was difference of two perfect square. So it is of the form 1 over square of the variable plus square of the constant. So the formula for the same can be used here to integrate it further. So what is to be needed? We need to simplify the denominator. Convert it to two perfect square. Either they will get added or they will get subtracted. Once it is converted into that form, you can use the result directly. Please ensure the coefficient of x square here should be made 1. So if it is something other than 1, you take it common. Then proceed with this method. Now coming to the next one, in case this polynomial is under the square root. So again we are going to proceed with the same method. We will convert ax square plus bx plus c into this. Okay, so to what form it will reduce to? See, if I convert the polynomial into two perfect square, this will become, everything will be now under the square root. So it will become 1 over square root of a dx over square root of x plus b over 2a whole square and then plus square root of 4ac minus b square over 2a whole square. So it will take one of the remaining 3 forms, which were the integrals in the form 1 over square root of x square plus a square, or 1 over square root of a square minus x square, or 1 over square root of x square minus a square. So once you write it in this form, you can directly use one of the results which we have discussed in the list 4 to 6 because it is under the square root. This will take the form, any one of the form 1, 2 or 3. This will take the form which are written in the formula 4, 5 or 6. Now let us explore another type which is possible here. See, this is another case. Suppose till now every time the numerator was a constant 1. Suppose it is a linear polynomial in the numerator, then how you are going to deal with it? Denominator is a quadratic polynomial. This without the square root, this with the square root. So it is the numerator we need to get rid of. So what we will do? We will try to write px plus q as a derivative of this quadratic polynomial so that we can get rid of it and we can use substitution. Let us see how that can be obtained. We will use this substitution. We will assume px plus q is equal to, say, lambda times derivative of ax square plus bx plus c and plus mu. Let us see what it reduces to. It will become px plus q is equal to lambda times derivative of ax square will be 2ax, that of bx will be simply b, plus mu. Because we are saying both the sides are equal, so you will find the possible values of lambda and mu for which they both become equal. This can be done by equating the like terms on both the sides. Like if we equate coefficient of x on both the sides, then what will happen? On the right side, coefficient of x is 2a lambda. On the left side, it is p. This means lambda should be p over twice of a. Okay, so the value of lambda can be obtained. In the same way, if I equate the constants on both the sides, see, on the right side, one of the constant will be lambda times b. Another is mu, lambda times b plus mu. And on the right side, it is q. So because lambda is known to us, we can put the value here and mu can be evaluated. Mu will be how much? Q minus lambda times b. And lambda is written here. So it will become p into b over twice of a. So this is how you will get mu also. Once they both are obtained, you can put their values here. Okay, put lambda, put mu. See, I am not writing these values here. For time being, I will use lambda and mu only. See what your integral will be now. Px plus q we will replace with this. So it will become lambda times 2ax plus b over ax square plus bx plus c dx. So I am breaking it into two integrals. Later part will be mu dx over ax square plus bx plus c. Now see how it helps. In the first integral, we will use substitution. And in the second integral, we are going to convert it into two perfect squares. In first integral, put ax square plus bx plus c is equal to, say, t. So what will be its derivative? 2ax plus b and then dx is equal to dt. You will find this part is reducing to dt. And lambda is a constant you can write here and its value is known to us. So in questions you will be knowing what p is, what a is. So you will exactly be knowing what lambda, which real number lambda is. So that will come here. And if you look at the rest of the part, see, this is becoming dt. And this you have replaced with t. So it is taking the form 1 over t dt. This you can integrate. What it will be? Log t. And over here we have done in the previous slide, we saw if I convert it to two perfect square, what will happen? First a will come outside. And what form it was taking? This was becoming x plus b over 2a whole square. And the rest part was square root of 4ac minus b square over 2a whole square dx. Okay, so in the first part we are able to integrate using substitution. This will become log t, so we are able to integrate. Here we are going to use the formula, okay, which we have done in the first slide. If you see, when we started, it will be one of the forms which are given in the number of results we have done, 1 to 6. So it will be one of the forms 1, 2 or 3. So you see which form it is and then use the formula. And same we are going to follow here. Exactly the same. See, what will be the only difference? Everything will come under the square root here in the final case. Here I will become lambda times 1 over square root of t dt. See, px plus q, we will write this only. And in the same manner we will get lambda and mu. Okay, and you will put them here. What is the only difference? This term is under the square root. And substitution also you will use like this only. Okay, and here we get mu times, this will not be a now, it will be square root of a, and here we get 1 over this entire expression under the square root. Sum of two perfect squares or difference of two perfect squares under the square root. This whole square of this, and then square root of 4ac minus b square divided by 2a. So you can see we first started with the simplest form where the quadratic polynomial was already expressed as two perfect squares. Then we increased the difficulty level. We assumed that the quadratic polynomial is not in the form of two perfect squares. But in both those cases, we maintained one thing, that the numerator was a constant. Then we further increased the difficulty level by making the numerator as a linear polynomial. So in the coming session, we will be doing questions based on these.